Thank you for your call. Nice to hear from you on the show. There's also WhatsApp. So you can also tell me what's up using WhatsApp, and we have our platform on X at Nigeria Info FM. That's at Nigeria Info FM. So different sides of the coin coming into the conversation. The minister first off had statements put out on his behalf by his spokesperson Dana Marion San, where he said he had a conversation with the president of CAF, and the president was saying, "Hey, it's the great Musepe, that is Patrick Musepe." And he was saying, "I understand. I'm sorry about what Nigeria are going through, but can you guys just try and see if you can see? Let us see what we can do to ensure that, Nigeria can still play the match tomorrow, because we don't have that much time, window, and all of those kind of things." And the minister said, "Hey, at this stage, there's more to life than just football. So we want to ensure that our players are safe and sound before we think about football to Nigeria." Hello, Walter. How are you doing?
Hello, Chuma.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. This is good.
Nice to hear from you, Chukudi, on Nigeria Info.
Yeah. This matter today can.
Yeah.
I don't know if the teacher did not act. We should not be
Are you there, Chukudi?
Yeah?
I can hear you, but I think it's breaking the connection.
I don't know if the rest of our Nigeria did not act. They don't like the football players.
Okay.
How can a player hold
Oh my Lord. I'm so sorry, Chukudi. It's not your fault. It's about the connection challenge. Call me back if you can, all right? Try and see if you can call me back. I'd love to get those thoughts of yours fully, shared with us on the show tonight. Yeah, we have a commercial break by 7:25. Well, this is just the only focus. It's been so big a talking point that even the international community too and the international media houses are keen to see, because it's not something that happens every day, man. I know that consistently we complain about these things in Africa, but this one looks like it was a step too far, really, by the Libyan contingent. By contingent, I mean the Libyans in general. I know the IFA have put out a statement saying, guys, it wasn't some kind of vendetta. It's not like we plan to do this. Yes, we went to Nigeria and there were also a few hiccups too, but it's not like we're trying to pay back or anything, or we didn't even escalate it when we had experienced it in Nigeria, according to their statement. So it's not like we planned. These things happen naturally when you're traveling internationally from one country to another. These are routine checks. These things happen sometimes. It has nothing to do with the Football Federation of Libya. It's not like we're trying to unsettle Nigeria before the match and all of those kind of things. But naturally, statements will always come out. People who always want to defend themselves, wouldn't they? More of your calls now. Hello, welcome. Good evening.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, this is Victor from Ikorodu.
Okay, Victor.
Chuma, sometimes I used to ask, is Africa from the tribe of Esau? Like, I don't understand. Is he anything that he did to us that we can never love ourselves?
Yeah.
Do you know that this thing, do you now see the reasons why some players will refuse to play for the African countries? Do you know the trauma this will be for someone like Ademona Lukuma, all these players that are not born in this part of the world?
I get your point.
Do you know the trauma? 16 good hours, no food, no water. And the FA is coming up to defend them. And that's my problem. We are too defensive in this part of the world. I mean, he's in his mind that you have written something that will entice us. Like, were there any response from the government or from the FA that, okay, no problem, we are with you, we are, I don't know why we are like this. And this is also the reason why I'm always angry when I hear that the people in abroad complain of racism. I mean, we are, in fact, I think we do more racism than the internal racism, I call it. We need internal racism than even people abroad. It's unfair. I think this country, this has been happening, don't forget. It has been happening because this one now is a turning point. I think the Libya should be banned.
All right.
Be banned for at least 5 years. They don't have to play football. It's a torture. Don't you know that it could have taken someone's life? Chuma.
Yeah.
In fact, Africa. No, wow. I don't know when our name will be set on a map. It's a shame. Look at how we're disgracing ourselves.
I understand the sadness, really. Thank you for your call. I'll be reading our comments on social media in a bit. I also will be keen to share some past antecedents, things that we have seen happen involving Nigeria and Libya in football in recent years. After I read a few comments via WhatsApp, this says, "Good evening, Chuma, Emmanuel from Agbara. If the Super Eagles refuse to play tomorrow as it was slated, CAF should award 3 points to Libya, period." So, okay, he believes CAF should give all 3 points to Libya because Nigeria's pulled out of the game. Majid from Ikorodu says the match should be rescheduled. I'm not sure if anyone will be sanctioned. The NFF and the players acted rightly, and I love it. Good evening, Chuma and Brownish. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, I want to quickly just do this, which is go back to what we have had in the past. Yeah, I'm very keen to do that one for sure. So in 2022, November 2022 to be precise, Rivers United, who were champions of Nigeria a few seasons back, played in the CAF Confederation Cup. That's the second tier club competition on the African continent, representing Nigeria in that. And they had to play a match in Libya against Al Nassr on a Wednesday. They arrived on a Monday. And first off, by the time they arrived, there was no security detail organized for them. Naturally, when an away team goes to, a country to play a match, it's the home FA that has to organize for a bus for that team. Except the team says, no, we don't want your bus. We'll organize our own by ourselves. All right? Security details as well, too, because it's your country now. So if you're coming to Chuma's home to play Chuma in the match, Chuma has to ensure that there's security details to follow you, because if anything happens to you, the blame is supposed to be on Chuma. He's supposed to ensure that you're safe in his country. All right. So there was nothing like that for Rivers United, as much as Rivers United and the officials shared. This was November 2022. And then Rivers United also said that because they were trying to prepare themselves to be in the best position for the game, they went and rented a private facility to train on that Monday evening. It wasn't about the club organizing something for them now. They went for their own. They had arranged already, got a private facility to train in. And then some fans of Libyan football who were not happy already that Rivers United had won the first leg in Nigeria by a massive margin. I think they scored 5 goals in that. Now went and then continued, intimidated the owner of that facility and told the owner to turn off the floodlight. So Rivers United were training. In between the training session, the floodlight was turned off for a facility that they paid for privately, so they could not train anymore that Monday night. This happened in Benghazi in Libya. This was November 2022. Fast forward to August 2023. The captain and goalkeeper of Enyimba, former champions of the Nigerian League 2 and the most successful Nigerian team in the history of continental football and also in our League 2, Olorunleke Ojo, well, he said that as they took on Al Ali Benghazi in the CAF Champions League, fans of that team hurled firecrackers and bottled water at him during the course of that encounter in Libya. So 2022 Rivers United, 2023 Enyimba, 2024 Super Eagles. Is it a mere coincidence? I know there's been the argument that, some people have, come through the theory that you guys did not treat them right in Nigeria, they're giving you payback and all that. And I was thinking to myself, now, again, like I said, when we come around for our Game On show tomorrow evening, it'll be laying down the facts one after the other for you. We'll have interviews with those that matter, those who were part of the experience, and then look at the way forward really for the African game beyond Nigeria today, because it could happen to any other African countries, not just about Nigeria and Libya. Libya can do that to any other country. Any other North African country or any other country on the continent can maltreat their visitors, which is not warranted, which is not needed. Realistically, if we want to play the game, play the game. Let the best team win on the pitch, as the reality is. But yeah, people have said things like, okay, they landed in Port Harcourt. You guys made them go through a 2.5-hour trip from Port Harcourt to Uyo. And I'm thinking to myself, Benin Republic, who played against Nigeria last month in the AFCON qualifying series, landed in Uyo directly. They went to Uyo directly. Now, if there's any country in our group now, in the AFCON qualifying group, that Nigeria should be scared of, in quote, or Nigerians should be unhappy with, in quote, it should be Benin Republic. I'll tell you why. Benin Republic beat Nigeria in a World Cup qualifier earlier this year. So Benin Republic are ahead of the Super Eagles because they're all also in the same World Cup qualifying group. Benin Republic are ahead of the Super Eagles in that group. And then we're playing them again in an AFCON qualifier. And we had the privilege of hosting them in the first leg. We lost to them by 2-1 away from home in the World Cup qualifying series. Now, this is the AFCON qualifiers. If there's any country that, if you want to say Nigeria mistreats people, which is not true, because we always do that big brother Africa thing. When we are mistreated outside, we come back and we try to be nice to our fellow African countries, which is how life should be, I think, And Benin Republic came, they landed in that same Uyo, the airport, the Victor Atta Airport in Uyo. They played the match. We beat them by 3-0. Clean, fair, and square. Now, Libya coming into Nigeria to play this AFCON qualifier had just 1 point from 2 matches. Compare that to 4 points from 2 matches for Nigeria. So what exactly would Nigerians be scared of about Libya in football that will make Nigeria want to mistreat Libya? South Africa have come to you and have beaten Nigeria there. We've not heard this kind of complaint. Why is it Libya? And we saw what they did on the pitch as well too, didn't we? So yeah, we're going to have this conversation. For now though, my man Brownish is in the studio with me too, and that's all the time in the world to speak anymore because we do have live commentary for you for tonight. So I'll be reading more of your comments on social media and picking one or two calls before that commercial break though. But Brownish, I'm sure you've seen the news and surely it's either gotten you talking or gotten you thinking.
Yeah, it certainly got me thinking. Good evening, everyone. First off, I have to say I feel like it's unacceptable.
Wow.
There's no excuse for the level of incompetency to take to keep the delegation from another country in a at an airport that is miles away from where they should have been, just completely rerouting their flights. There's no excuse for the amount of incompetence. Now, when you realize that this was done deliberately as a showback for perceived wrongs that more or less was self-inflicted, you then start understanding that the problem with African football is so entrenched in our psyche that this is not a me and my brother fought and he did me, I will do him back. These are actual countries. These are citizens of a country that are not your citizens. If you're even doing bad things to your citizens, it's bad. You're now objectifying and basically holding citizens of another country ransom. To be fair, these kinds of things have started conflicts that are way bigger than sports.
True.
So aside from the fact that like our embassy in Libya should literally just close down and leave first, but the fact that you had so much impunity to do this kind of thing, that's why, to be honest, nobody takes African football seriously. Because are you going to do this kind of thing and UEFA will be looking at you? You want to do this in the Nations League, or you want to do this in Euros qualifier? And somebody will Liechtenstein will go to, or Portugal will go to Liechtenstein now, because when Liechtenstein went to Portugal, for some reason Liechtenstein's didn't land at Lisbon. He landed somewhere else, and then Liechtenstein will now keep them Cristiano Ronaldo and somewhere and just be like for 13 to 16 hours. What?
Well, according to the Libyan FA, they say these things happen sometimes. We're going to have all the talk around this one surely on the show tomorrow. There's a countdown of 2 minutes before the commercial break comes to the fore. I want to dedicate those 2 minutes to you and more of your thoughts on social media. Good afternoon, Chuma and Brownish. Apology or statement is indefensible. Their treatment was callous and barbaric. They should be duly sanctioned because they are fond of this kind of behavior. Abe from Igondo has that message. Super Eagles versus Libya. Though Nigeria might have been in the news for so many wrong reasons, but in this case, I don't think they have to be blamed as it is widely speculated. From the information I got, the NFF and the NFF agreed that the Libyan team will fly from Abuja to Uyo, and some officials were on ground to receive them at the airport. Okay, I was sharing a long statement here. Paul from Aja, and Paul wraps up by saying CAF must react and let there be consequences for this. Okay, let there be a consequence for the misdemeanors.
To be fair, I don't trust CAF.
Okay, they've pushed it to their disciplinary committee, and we'll see what happens in the coming days, because they have to decide if this game will be replayed or if 3 points will go to Libya or Nigeria. Surely we'll have to find out in the coming days. Good evening, Samson from Aja has this message. Says the match should be rescheduled to a neutral ground, not in Africa. It should be played in Europe.
You want to follow them, go?
Says, what about we that play bets? What will happen to our money if they decide to give Libya?
Otilo Fafa.
This guy not the reason he betting money already. Good evening, Chuma and Brownish Tune from Ibadan. Let's put things straight. Nigeria started the mess by letting Libya travel by road to Port Harcourt. So either they withdraw their players from Libya or nothing at all. You started your hostile and you must face what you started. Okay, I don't know if you heard my explanation when I spoke about Benin Republic, who landed in Uyo. So who are Libya in the context of football that Nigeria should be scared of and want to mistreat or maltreat? The NFF have put out the statement that the Libyans, of course, did not tell them about their travel plans to land in Port Harcourt, and also that the arrangement was for Uyo from the start. But an hour into their takeoff, they now reached out to the Nigeria Football Federation that we're arriving in Port Harcourt. The NFF now said, okay, we'll speak to the Nigerian authorities. You guys can still come from Port Harcourt after you're done with the custom clearance and land in Uyo, but they wanted to go to Uyo by road because they did not have enough money to maybe add to the chartered flight and all that. We're going to have that conversation when we come around for Game On tomorrow. Trust me when I say so. And look at the pros and cons. If anybody in Nigeria deserves to be blamed, we'll do that that. If not, we focus on those who deserve to be blamed, who, as I speak to you right now, from my perspective, are the Libyans, with all the respect to them. My name is Chuma. I've been here with Brownish. We'll have a commercial break. After that one, there will be the excitement around our coverage of the UEFA Nations League and updates from the AFCON qualifying series. Play one, play all, and get ready to win the cash.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.